She like immediately became my best friend, and I don't know, we just like hit it off like right away, and we would do everything like together at school. Like, you know, we would always be partners, all that kind of stuff. But like we just got super close, and like I literally only talked to her. Like I had no other friends because I was like, no, she's like the only friend I need, you know? Like another thing is she was also the type of person who would like lie about everything, like a compulsive liar, like anything and everything. She'd be the type of person to be like, oh yeah, I grew up, my parents are penguins and I grew up in an igloo. Like what? I don't even know. But that's just kind of like the lies she would tell, like absurd. But the thing was is I would believe these lies because I was like literally in 5th grade. She was like the first kind of like friend I ever had. So like my mom never trusted this girl, and like I remember the first time my mom like went to go meet her mom, like her mom wouldn't get out of the car and like wasn't there, and it was just like super weird, and my mom's like, you can't hang out with her, and I was like, Mom, she's my best friend, you don't understand me, you don't understand. And she was just like, she knew the whole time, you know, and I just didn't want to listen because I thought I knew everything. And one thing was we had to do this stupid test in elementary school in order to go to recess. Like you had to like read a book and like take a test, and you would get points. You had to have like at least 3 points every day. Well, me and her would like take these like little books with like 3 words in them, and like it gave you like half a point. So we would just do a bunch of those. So like I read some and then she read some, and the ones that she read she would take on mine, and the ones that I read I would take on hers. And so then my teacher caught that and started like interrogating us. I was bawling my eyes out, and then when that girl, my ex-best friend, left the room, my teacher was literally like, oh my gosh, did she make you do this? Like everybody just like thought of her as like a cunt, because like to be honest she was, like I found out she was, but at the time I was just like, no, like I did this but like because I want to go to recess, and stupid reading isn't going to stop me. So anyway, like fast forward to like 6th grade, we were still friends. I remember in 6th grade she started wearing like full faces of makeup, and I took chorus because I didn't want to take chorus, like I can't sing, but I took chorus because she was going to be in that class, and I was like, oh, like I want to be in classes with my friends, you know? This is part 2 to the cyberbully story. So anyway, I'd taken chorus with her, and somehow she like made friends with every person in that class, and like I was shy at the time, so I had like a hard time talking to people, and it was like hard for me to make friends, and like I didn't want to and whatever. But she basically got all these people to like hate me, and so like I would get dirty looks all day long from people that I had never once spoken to in my entire life. I didn't know it was like her doing it. Like I just was confused as to why they didn't like me. I just thought it was because like I was super ugly at the time, I guess you could say. I don't know, that's the best way I can put it. Also, tell me one day why I had planned to like hang out with her, so I like took the bus home with her, right? And this is like, sorry, I forgot to say this, but anyway, I like took the bus home with her, and she kept telling me, because she told me that the house we were going to was her babysitter's house because we couldn't get to her real house because her dad had the keys and her dad was at work when she didn't have a dad. But I didn't know that at the time. Like, that's the type of lies she would tell. And all day, she was just like, yeah, he'll be home soon. He'll be home soon. He's probably still at work. Like, he has the keys to their house. Like, we have to stay here. And, like, it wasn't even her babysitter. It was her stupid sister. Like, because even, like, when her mom got home, her mom came there. And I was just like, well, why doesn't your mom have the keys? And she was just like, my dad has them. Okay. So anyway, it went on at school where like all these girls didn't like me and stuff, and I didn't know why. And I would be in the counselor's office like every single week because I didn't know how to like deal with all of that, and I was like super upset all the time, and I wanted to get out of class. I didn't like school. Like I was just having a hard time. And then my at-home life at that time was really hard, so I just felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. The cyberbullying started, so I started getting bullied by some of these girls on like Instagram. And they were just telling me like really horrible things. And it got so bad to the point where my mom found out and she got involved. And it was just so bad. Like I remember coming home every day, like bawling my eyes out. I'll be like having to do the dishes, and I'll be just sitting on the floor like crying because I like didn't know what to do. And I just thought that it was going to be that way forever. You're gonna have to go to part 3. This is part 3 to the cyberbullying story. So anyway, I would cry all the time, and then like there'd be like new accounts made that were like bullying me, and like they were obviously fake, but like I was so young at the time that like I didn't think like a fake account was like a thing, you know? it was really bad. And like, I was like up in the counselor's office. Like, I remember like there was just so many people getting involved in this, and it was just horrible. So one day I was fed up. I was so fed up. This was going on for so long. I had went to the counselor's office and I had told the lady what was going on. And I was like, look, it won't stop. Like, it's getting out of hand. Like, my mom's getting involved. Like, we don't know what to do. Like, and I'm over it. Like, I'm literally about to like leave school because I can't do this. And so then she basically had this thing, like, I don't know what it was, but she had this thing where like she could like look up the phone number to the Instagram account. And so she's like, we're going to try this and like see who it is. Okay. And it was one of these accounts that were made. So imagine my ex-best friend is sitting in the office with me at this very same time that I am, as this freaking counselor's looking up this number, right? And so she looks up the number, and she says the number out loud, and I was like, hold on. That is my ex-best friend's number. And she's just sitting there like all like embarrassed. She immediately turns red, and I'm like, it was you this whole time? It was you this whole time? Yeah, it was like a cringe moment. But then after that, I completely like cut her off. There was a few times where she tried to talk to me still. Like, she would like every once in a while like try to like DM me on Instagram or something, but I would never respond. And then she just like disappeared from school. It was so freaking bad. I'm just glad that like, you know, like I was able to see like her true colors and find out who she really was.
My most embarrassing moment, and let me tell you about it. I was like 15, and my best friend at the time, let's call her D. Her name starts with a D, but I'm not going to say her actual name. It was a regular schmegular day, and our pastor, we used to go to a Catholic school. Our pastor was like, hey guys, we're doing auditions for who wants to sing for this like huge event that we're doing. I had no interest in going because I know I cannot sing. Like, it's the truth. I cannot sing, but she somehow convinced me. She's like, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it by myself. Come on, you're my best friend. And I just got wrapped in the whole thing. So we go to the audition, and the guy that's auditioning, he's like, well, you guys do need a little bit of practice, but you guys are accepted. I think that was my call to be like, yeah, I'm going to head out, because if the guy's like, you guys do need a little practice, that definitely means I cannot sing. So we had rehearsal every single day after school. Mind you, I was in school from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. already, plus an extra hour. So that means I get out at 5 and I get home by 5:30. And by the time I get home, I have to do cleaning and all of that. But whatever, I stayed. And she was there for every single rehearsal. The day of the event comes, and we didn't have any school that day, obviously. So we had to go into school at like 8 p.m. to get everything ready. The whole day, she didn't answer my text messages. The whole day. I'm sorry, go to part 2. So the day comes, she's nowhere to be found. Mind you, I invited literally everyone in my family, especially my 2 favorite uncles. I had never had a good relationship with my mom, so I didn't invite her. I knew she wasn't going to go anyways. Forgot to say this, but the song that we picked is 2 people singing, so I definitely needed her to sing the whole song. I end up still going, still haven't communicated with her. I still haven't talked to her the whole day. But I had big hopes that she would just show up, and she was just having a hard time, you know, communicating with me. I was on stage standing there. Mind you, I have the worst social anxiety. Like, it's better now, but back then it was really bad. No one in my family came. The person I was supposed to sing with didn't come. So I'm standing there. Obviously, she doesn't come up, and they're like, you still have to sing. And I'm just like, I start singing. You can barely hear me while I was singing. Like, I had the microphone like down here, and I was singing, and I wasn't looking at anyone. The whole school was there, their parents, my classmates. It was the most embarrassing moment of my life. The singing stops. I finally finished the song, and there's this huge silence for like 10 seconds. And then you could hear like maybe 10 people clapping. And I'm like, thank you. And I walk off. Literally wanted to die, and I didn't even want to go to school. She didn't text me for the whole weekend. Like, the whole thing was a Friday, didn't text me the whole weekend. Monday, she texted me like early in the morning, like, hey, are you going to pick me up? Because I used to like walk to her house and then we would go to school. I honestly don't know what hurt me the most. That my family didn't go, that she convinced me to do it and didn't go, never said sorry, she just said her dad didn't let her go, or that I put myself in that situation. That I had to go to school that Monday, the fact that she texted me on Monday like nothing ever happened and asked me if I was going to pick her up. I didn't talk to her for like a month, maybe more, and after that, like, our relationship just wasn't the same.
But when I go for a ride, no matter how perfect the momentum, the rotation, it all comes down to one thing: tires you can trust.
Michelin, motion for life.
Parents and teachers need to understand that speaking our own opinions isn't talking back. For example, my teacher, Mrs. Brown, was literally shouting to my friend, "You have to do the homework. I don't care that you've been really busy with your grandfather's funeral. I expect it to be finished tomorrow morning," which is very unreasonable. So my friend replied back saying, "But I spent my whole weekend at my grandma's too." No buts. That is rude. Have you not been told that talking back is rude? Huh? What? The whole point of a conversation is to talk. Surely you should know that by now. Honestly, anytime there are kids around, my phone is in danger. As soon as they see it, they come up to you with their sticky little fingers and say, "Do you have any games?" Like, yeah, I do. But no. Not with those crusty hands. And then they have the audacity to cry, "This is my phone, not yours." Okay, starting with a huge debate. Comment Marvel or DC. My friends asked me this yesterday, and I said I didn't like either of them. And oh my god, they were all so confused because Marvel is apparently the best thing ever. Like Black Widow. Hello, that was the most boring thing ever. For some reason, no one likes what I like to watch. Can someone please explain this to me? I genuinely want to know why people say stuff like, "Oh, of course it's a Roblox kid," or "Of course it's a Fortnite kid." Like, I think I know I play Roblox, you don't need to tell me. And what's wrong with it? Yes, I know it's pretty old, but does that really matter? Does it really bother you?
Is it just me? Like, when you're scrolling through TikTok, you could be on any video, and then automatically TikTok, like, scrolls down, like, a bajillion videos. Like, I'm sorry, honey, but I'm not finished with the one I was just watching. And you've just scrolled down, like, 10 videos. So then you have to scroll up again to watch the videos that TikTok just told you, no, you don't get to watch these. Does that happen to anyone else? Because I've asked my friends about it and they said that it doesn't happen to them. What is it about me, TikTok, huh? Why can't I watch videos? Huh?
We all have that one kid in our class who always has to be right. Or you're just lucky enough to get into a good class. Say, if they get something wrong, they'll go like, "Oh, I was gonna say that." Were you, Billy? Were you? Or, if someone else gets the answer right, they go, "Yeah, I was going to say that as well." Were you? Now, mate, were you? Oh my god, and we can't forget the teacher's pet. So, say if it was reading time and some kids were talking, you'll go, "Shh, shh, shh, shh." Boy, you ain't the teacher! Let the teacher do its job! Can we talk about the injustice and inequity of this? You know when you drop a plate, but nothing chips. Your mom goes like, "Oh my god, Lydia, that was my favorite plate. How dare you step away?" Literally shouting about nothing. But when she drops something, and it smashes into pieces, she goes like, "Oh, oopsies. It was an accident. I'll just, clean this up." What? This is not fair. Oh, and some people think that I hate my parents because of these videos, but they're not that serious. I love them. Why are all moms the same? The biggest gossiper I know is my mom, and I know a lot of you guys can also agree with me. Every time her friend comes over, they're always gossiping. And sometimes it's about me. Fan behavior much? Something I don't get is when I'm just minding my own business, on my phone, scrolling through TikTok, feeling really relaxed in my enclosed bedroom. Then, a parent just randomly walks in and just stands there and then complains about everything I do wrong. For example, me always on that phone, never helping out with the house. I literally washed the dishes the other day and cleaned the bathrooms, which is absolutely disgusting. But the worst thing ever is when they finally leave the room, but they don't close the stupid door. You entered the room with a closed door. You leave the room with a closed door. What do people not understand about that? Then I would have to move up from my very comfortable position and close it myself. Close the door.
Give a little Sara Lee love and see how far the love goes.
Since I came to know you, baby, I've been telling you how good you look.
Boy, do I have an embarrassing story for you. So a couple days ago, I went to Target with my mom, and I told her, okay, Mom, while you shop, I'm just gonna go in the electronics section. But to get over there, I had to cross the baby aisle. So, I'm walking over, and there's this mom with her baby, and I guess she didn't hear me behind her. But let's just say she, let one slide. Like, I'm telling you, it literally rattled the entire store. And again, she didn't know I was behind her. So I quickly did a 360 and went right back where I came from. And I think she heard me because I just wanted to get out of there because it was so embarrassing. And I literally overheard her saying to her baby, she blamed it on her baby, and she said, "Oh, honey, you must have gas."
Do you ever just not trust yourself? For example, if I made something, like cook something, I would not eat it. I mean, I know what I put in, but I feel like I poisoned myself or something. Or at school, I know the answer, and I'm like 100% sure that that's the answer. But I will not say it out loud. I will always have to double check with my friend who sits next to me.
Okay, here's some random things that we all have done as kids. For example, balancing the light switch button. Whenever I had to be turn on or off the lights, I always try to balance the light switch button, and I still do it sometimes. For example, one more example, talking or singing in a fan to sound like a robot. So you know how in summer we would sit next to a fan, so we would always talk or sing in it, and we would sound like a robot. This is off topic, but it is just me, or whenever I see a typo, I look at my keyboard to see if those two keys are closed or not.
Okay, I know I'm not the only one seeing these ads for medication where they're like, oh, this can cure something, right? But side effects may include this, that, and another common side effect is death. I've asked a lot of people about this, and they've all said that they've seen these types of ads, and I'm just so confused. Do people actually take this type of medication? I am not trying to cure a disease just so I could possibly die. Honey, no. No. Someone tell me why online shopping is so addictive. For example, I would be on a clothing website, and I'll be there adding every single thing to my basket. It's as if I think I'm not broke. And I know that when I see the basket price, I would cry. Honestly, online shopping is dangerous. It hurts my mental health. Also, I realized that I have a love-hate relationship with summer. I hate the heat. It kills me. I literally feel dead. But I love going on vacation and wearing summer clothes. People who like this type of heat confuses me. I don't get teachers sometimes. When you and your friend are actually talking about school-related topics, is this assignment you're supposed to do? Or, how do you do this equation? The teacher will look at you and say, do you guys need something? Or give you that death stare teachers always give us. Then we get in trouble. Also, whenever you need help, the teachers are never actually useful. And you have to put on a smile and say you understand because you are too embarrassed to ask them what they actually mean. Why? Sometimes my parents are so weird. For example, my dad would request to follow me on Instagram or something, and I declined pretending I didn't see anything like a normal person. And not even 2 seconds later, he would walk in asking, oh, why did you not accept me on the Instagram? Or, why did you block me on the talk clock? Well, Mark, maybe, just maybe, it's because I don't exactly want my father seeing everything I do every single day and tagging me in family pictures with everyone being able to see them. How about, let's just stay with iMessages and WhatsApp, Mark. The most annoying thing ever is when you have something really important or exciting to do. So, you go do it, but on the way, you get distracted. And when you carry on walking into the room again, you're just standing there what was I supposed to do again? And literally, the more you think about it, try to remember, the more you forget, and then you're just mad at yourself for the rest of the night. This happened to my sister last night. So she comes into my room, right? And then it literally looks like she's possessed or something, because she just stared at my wall for 2 minutes. and walked out without saying anything. Like, what? Does anyone have the weirdest, most vividest memory from elementary? Well, I do, and I hate myself for remembering. There was this one girl. Why is there always this one girl? But she thought having crop tops were cool. By the way, this was in 2nd grade. So yeah, she always showed off her crop top. And she would have like a new set every time we changed. And she would like shout to the class, "Guys, look at my new set, it's so cool." Like, no, they're like, oh wait, no, I can't say her name. Let's just call her Vanessa. Like, no, Vanessa. Shut up, we do not want to see your crop top.
So when I was like 5 and my brother was like 8, he and I would fight like all the time. It would drive my mom insane. So this one time we were driving in the car and we were fighting, and then my mom like pulled over off the side of the road and then was like, "If you guys start fighting one more time, I'm gonna drop you off the side of the road." I just completely ignored her and we started fighting again. As soon as we started fighting again, then she again pulled off on the side of the road and was like, "Get out of my car." And we were like, "Huh?" And so we got out of the car. We were probably like, I don't know, 3 or 4 blocks away from my house. And then my mom drove away. And just as my mom like drove away, my grandma came driving through and she saw us. So my mom's plan was to drive around the corner like, just to scare us and to pick us back up. But my grandma saw us and she picked us up. And she was like, what happened? We were like, "Our mom dropped us off at the side of the road." We got in the car and then we left with my grandma. So my mom comes back around and she's like, "Oh my gosh, where are my kids?" And I'm old, so this was before cell phones were like a common thing. And so she had no way of calling and finding out where we were. And so me and my brother were just chilling at my grandma's house while my mom was probably freaking out somewhere. And we were like, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it got us to stop fighting, that's for sure.
So when I was in year 7, really like Wednesday, I think it was, we used to do an activity, and one of the activities was just dance, or there was like a puzzle, or like reading. But no one ever wanted to do reading, so we always like voted for just dance. And me and my friends, we had to make like a bicycle or something, or was it like a horse? I don't even remember. So yeah, and I was always this guy, and I remember my friend was like sitting on top of me. Well, not sitting on top of you, you know what I mean. And then she fell, and not like I broke my neck. I probably didn't, but it really hurt. And we always won because we were just the best, you know? The best.
I swear teachers have favorites. Here's another story time that happened to me in Spanish. Me and my friends were just minding our own business, doing the work assigned to us, and then my friend starts kicking her metal water bottle. And our Spanish teacher screams at us to stop the noise, and it's like heard across the room. The whole class goes silent. So the teacher looks me dead in the eyes, calls out my name, and says, "Are you the one kicking the water bottle?" I was like, "No, I don't even have a water bottle." Then she rolls her eyes and looks under the table. She sees my friend doing it and then smiles and says, "Oh, silly you. You were the one doing it." Her face completely changed from looking like she was gonna murder us to an innocent, sweet smile. I hate it when you've just done finals or any other big exams, and your mom comes up to you and says stuff like, "Yeah, it's absolutely fine if you get a low mark, just as long as you work your hardest." But then, when you do actually get your results back and there are only like 2 B's, your mom is livid. She's furious. She comes up to you, roaring her lungs out, saying, "See, you're always on that phone. That is why you're getting these bad marks." Like, huh? The other day, didn't you literally just say that it's okay, whatever mark I get? And here you are, acting as if I've got all F's and that I deleted your Facebook app. I'm not the type of person that gets scared easily. I love horror movies. I'll watch it all day, all night. I literally don't flinch at the jump scares. But do you know one thing that makes my soul jump out of my body? Dad sneezes. It's something about them. They make them so loud. It's so unnecessary. They literally go like, "Achoo!" And you don't know when it's coming because it's so sudden. Like, are you trying to summon a demon or something? I guess this could just be me because I do inside quiet sneezes. But I swear, every single dad I know does this. This is definitely not aimed to anyone who friend requests me. You know when you're just playing Roblox on your phone or your iPad? You're playing Tower of Hell and you're doing really good. You're the highest in the tower, you haven't died yet, and everyone is dying behind you. So you're just like happy and chilling. Until you get a stupid damn friend request. I'm just raging thinking about it. But that damn friend request is just covering the jump button. And you thought you were gonna jump, but instead, you pressed decline. And then you fall. Or you die. I mean, why can't the friend requests come at the top, not in front of the jump button? I just don't want to die when I'm in first place.
Will never, and I mean never, forget the time that we had a male sub in high school and a girl asked to go to the restroom and he said sure. So she grabbed something and he heard a wrapper and he was like, oh, if you're gonna eat candy, you can do it here, but you have to share with everyone in the class. And she was like, what? And he was like, well, I heard the wrapper. And she whips out a tampon, shoves it in his face, and she goes, you want to share? Oh, girl, savage.